Hey everybody, I had to make this super quick. My phone is dying, but I'm getting behind. So I wanted to hop on here and first of all celebrate the fact that I am still making progress toward my goal. If you don't already know, my goal for 2020 is to read 52 books. That's a book a week on average. There have been weeks when I haven't read any books, like finished any books, and there have been weeks when I've finished 2 books at a time. So I'm sticking with the goal, but it's definitely not perfect. But anyway, so the 9th book that I decided to read this year is called Year of Yes. And as always, this is backwards, and as always, that is fine. So Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes is incredible. So what I've been doing this year is reading a personal development book, and then I'll read a fiction book to give myself a break, and then a personal development and a fiction. So this is definitely a personal development book. It's basically about how Shonda Rhimes for an entire year just said yes to all the stuff that scared her. And at first I was like, at first I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this, because of course she can say yes to things that other people can't, but it was really just things that scared her. So if she was afraid of speaking in front of a certain group of people, she would say yes to doing that. If she was afraid of being on a certain talk show, she would say yes to doing that. So it wasn't like she was saying yes to backpacking through Europe and like, she was saying yes to things that were helping her grow, and I love that. So if you are looking for a book about someone growing and how you can grow through their experience, this is perfect. So I love that it was so honest. It was like following her thought processes. Like when you read it, it's like you're following her train of thought. And something that I loved about that was, one, it made her seem real because it sounded like my crazy train of thought. And I'm reading it in a book, so I'm like, wow, okay, I'm not crazy, I'm not weird or whatever. And it also made me feel connected to her because it sounded so real. She is a real person just like all of us, and she probably can't believe her success any more than we can. So it was amazing kind of diving into her brain and following this process that she went through. So again, Year of Yes. Shonda Rhimes for an entire year said yes to everything that scared her. What I love is that she also talks about how to say no, saying yes to saying no. And I think a lot of us really struggle with that. No is a complete sentence, and it is a complete response. And a lot of us really, really struggle with that concept. And so she talks about how she got through that and how she learned to say yes to saying no. And I really love how it's put together. I really love, if you watch any of the shows created by Shonda Rhimes, you will understand what I mean when I say she's such a good writer. Like, you can't stop flipping pages in this book. So another thing that I love is that it's all examples from her life. She's not just saying, go out there and do the things and be awesome and stop, blah, 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 blah. Don't do this and don't do that. She's saying, when I said this, this is what it looked like. This is what it felt like. This is what went through my head. She talks about wanting to throw up because she's so nervous. She talks about all of the fears about public speaking, which is crazy because when we see someone famous, we assume they have no fears of that kind of stuff. She talks about issues with her body image. She talks about issues as a mother. And so I think no matter who you are or what season of your life you're in, you can benefit from this book for sure. And then again, she's just talking about herself, like her life, giving real serious, like, this is what I did, this is what it felt like, and then after I accomplished it, this is what it felt like then, and why she kept doing it. And then she realized at the end of it that it had been way more than a year and she was still saying yes to things, and it wasn't scary anymore. And she was able to say yes to new scary things and not being scared of those old things. So anyway, if you love any shows created by Shonda Rhimes, so if you love Scandal, if you love How to Get Away with Murder, if you love Grey's Anatomy, etc., definitely get this book, because she is the creator. She is like the mother of all those shows. So if you love those shows and if they suck you in, so will this book. And you're jumping into the mind of this person who created these worlds, and it's amazing. If you Love books of practical advice. A lot of personal development stuff is just be this and do that and it'll be so fantastic. You have it in you. The end. And that's not what this is. Again, she walks through her experience. Like, I was scared poopless to do this thing, then I did it, and this is how I got through it. And it's really practical. It's things that you can do for yourself. Okay, and then if you need a fire lit in your belly again, or if you're feeling stuck, and you're wondering, well, what do I do next? Or what do I do about this situation? Or whatever, where do I go? I would seriously suggest reading this book because for me, it's really pushing me to realize that I need to say yes to things that scare me. If I have a goal and I'm saying no to all the things that are going to get me closer to that goal, I'm never going to reach it. And that's one thing that Shonda Rhimes realized, and she wrote this book about it. And that's one thing that you will realize through reading the book. So again, Year of Yes, it is incredible. It is an easy read because, again, you're just following this amazing woman's train of thought, and it really makes you feel normal. It makes you feel like you're not alone, and it makes you feel really motivated to try it in your own life. So, Year of Yes is awesome. Thank you for tuning in. I will probably be on again tomorrow. Book 9. I also am doing these because I want to promote and encourage you to do something similar. Pick a goal that you've tried to reach before, maybe haven't reached, or pick a goal that is new, pick a goal that is scary, and go for it. For me, 52 books a year has been a goal for me for years, probably since I graduated college. And because I just love reading, but I let so many things get in the way, so many excuses that aren't even real. So I'm doing this to hold myself accountable, because if at the end of 2020 I don't get to 52 books, we'll all be like, whoa, Emily, liar, liar, plants for hire. But to hold myself accountable, to motivate you, and also to give you some really good book recommendations. So if you have any books that I should read, let me know. If you know someone who's been thinking about this book, tag them so they can hear at least my review of it. You are awesome. Thank you for giving me a part of your day. I will see you guys next time.